recognize her from Skeltech's public announcement videos. Who is she?
Her? That's Ayana Puri. She's Skeltech's CFO. She's incredibly driven and loyal. She's been CFO for over 10 years. Hell, for business purposes, she is Skeltech.
Was she close to Skel?
Oh, extremely. They used to work together at the head office in Infinity.
If they were so close, what's she doing helping Sentinel?
I have no idea.
Open your eyes, it's right there in front of you. She's working with Sentinel because she was tired of being number 2. This is her shot to become the queen of Skeltech.
But what could she have wanted? She had everything. She was one of the most respected women in business.
She might have had everything, but she was still in Skel's shadow. Now, there's no one in front of her. How's Harmony holding up?
I don't know. She acts like everything is fine, but I worry about the long-term effects of staying here.
She's tough.
She's under so much stress. The shock of everything must be hard on her. I thought I was bringing her to paradise. The Schultzes are very kind, but Erewhon is no place for her. Not with all the fighting and the violence.
No one could have seen what's going on here coming, but it happened, and you're both here. Now the only thing you can do is keep her safe, which is why you should be helping Schultz protect Erewhon.
You're right. It's the only thing I can do to make sure she's okay.
What's her mother think of all this?
She left us a few years ago. She ran off with some... It doesn't matter. I'm all Harmony has left.
You just try to stay strong for her, all right? She's gonna need you to get through this. Where can I find Skel's villa?
It's in the New Argyll province. It's called Skel Estate. It's one of Skel architecture's masterpieces. It's stunning. You can't miss it.
And how come he gave you the access code?
I've been there many times with Harmony. Skel loves it when she comes over. She brings some life into the place. It's just him in there, aside from the maids. I don't think he really likes it there.
Then why does he stay there?
He'd be happy with a bunk bed and a lab. But he's the CEO of Skeltech, one of the most profitable companies in the world. That comes with certain responsibilities, like a public image he has to keep up, even if he doesn't want to.
If Skel has everyone on this island working on his projects, why does he need a secret lab?
I don't know. Skel's always been secretive. I think he's very insecure.
He's one of the richest men in the world. What's he have to be insecure about?
I think he's afraid people will think he's a crackpot if they find out some of his more visionary ideas.
Like what?
Oh, over the years, he's mentioned some real wild ideas. Cybernetics, transhumanism, immortality, perpetual motion. I can go on and on. If you could dream it, he's got ideas on how to make it work.
Including killer drone swarms?
I don't know.
He might be some sort of genius, but for now, I don't trust him. Skel runs all the industry on Aroa. What about the people who live on the island? Is he in charge of their lives too?
Oh no, the people of Aroa ran their own government. The capital is in the City of Liberty. We used to hold elections and have a parliament that represents the people and creates the laws on the island.
And what happens when people break these laws?
Well, we have our own court where people can plead their case.
But Skeltech pays for all of this, right?
They do. They provide whatever the citizenry ask for.
As long as it meets their agenda.
Anyone on Aroa who disagrees with Skeltech's agenda is free to leave.
Is that Sentinel's policy?
No. Now that they've taken over, they've shut down everything.
I guess the government of Aroa didn't have so much power after all. Skel mentioned a data farm in Aroa. What can you tell me about it?
Shoot. What do you want to know? It's where Skeltech stores everything. I mean, the whole place runs out of that data farm. The facility is so huge, they had to build it up on a mountainside in Silent Mountain.
Must be pretty important.
You have no idea. Skel wants to use it to store all of mankind's knowledge for all eternity. I mean everything, from how to start a fire with a couple of rocks to ion thrusters. And he wants to make it available to everyone across the globe. The complete democratization of knowledge.
How could he possibly get all of mankind's knowledge in the first place?
Easy. The internet. It's all there. We just had to write the proper algorithms to pull the information out and classify it. It was a huge operation.
Was.
Well, now the Sentinel shut the internet off, we can't harvest information anymore.
Skell told me about a hospital in Liberty. What can you tell me about it?
It's one of the best in the world, for starters. Everything is state-of-the-art. They're even using AI to help make diagnoses. They do a lot of groundbreaking work: cyber prosthetics, cosmetic surgery, well-being therapy. And the best part is, it's all free to anyone on Aroa.
I'll have to remember that if I need to get patched up.
You might want to make an appointment before you go. There's been a lot more patients since Sentinel took over.
I bet it doesn't help that there's no way to get doctors or supplies in with the island on lockdown.
Even worse, Sentinel soldiers get priority. They get real suspicious of any civilians coming in with injuries. Now people are afraid to see a doctor because they're afraid of being interrogated.
There's a huge concrete building in the new Sterling farmlands that no one's mentioned before. What is it?
The new Sterling farmlands? Oh, you must mean the World Seed Vault.
What does Skell want with seeds?
It's all part of his plan to set Aroa up as some kind of Noah's Ark in the event of a global catastrophe.
I guess it pays to plan ahead.
I don't really see the point of it. Most of the farming Skell does is based on old methods that are proven to fail. It's one of those things he got a big idea for, but he didn't see it through. I tried to tell him there are more progressive ways of farming, but he didn't want to hear it.
I saw what's left of the Skell Foundation in Infinity. Now I get why everyone's so worked up about terrorists.
That day left a big scar on this island. I don't think we've ever recovered.
Why attack the Foundation? They don't manufacture anything there. All the data inside must be backed up somewhere else.
It was the face of Skelltech, the symbol of Skell's greatness.
Someone wanted to send a very clear message.
Over 40 souls were lost to send that message. Skell ordered the building not to be repaired. He wanted it to be a memorial.
You mentioned emails before. I'm assuming Aroa is connected to the internet.
Skelltech is one of the most advanced tech companies in the world. Of course we have internet. We even have our own private network. Everything is connected to a next-gen, uncentralized 6G network. It's light years ahead of the traditional server client set.
That's great, but I don't know what any of that means. Just tell me one thing. Can it connect to the mainland?
Sure. It's connected by an underwater cable that runs from Aroa to New Zealand. There's also a backup satellite connection in case the cable is ever damaged.
Great. Where can I find them?
You can't get to them as long as Sentinel Corp runs the island security. That's a dead end. They both run through the Aurora Internet Control Center. Unfortunately, it's way up in Silent Mountain. The only way to get to it is by flying shuttle. Once Sentinel took over, the first thing they did was take control of the center and ground the shuttles.
To keep people from getting a message out?
To control and filter messages coming both in and out. They own us here.
What can you tell me about the Natural Hazards Control?
The NHC? How do you know about that?
I saw a station on Good Hope Mountain.
Ah, yes. That's our contingency.
Contingency?
We're out in the middle of nowhere. We need to be able to protect ourselves in the event of a natural disaster. Once the volcano on Gollum Island went active, well, we had to do something to make sure that everyone on Aroa felt safe.
And how exactly is Skell planning to keep people safe against a volcano?
Massive shelters, enough to house 30,000 people, the whole island. They're also designed to protect against hurricanes and tsunamis. The NHC is also in constant contact with a weather station to warn us about any threats. Like everything Skell does, he built it to the extreme.
And I'm willing to bet that means they're under heavy surveillance. I saw there was a medical center at Mount Hodgson. Kind of a remote area for clinic, don't you think?
They do a lot of mining out there. It's hours from the capital, so they needed an emergency care center that was local.
Aren't machines doing all the mining?
Most of it, but they still need humans calling the shots.
What kind of facilities do they have?
It's pretty basic. It's just designed to stabilize patients until they can get them to the main hospital in Liberty.
Thanks for the help, Fox. I'll see you later.